What's up with it, y'all? Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. Go ahead and hit that like, sub, share the video, and also hit them notifications too, okay? Now, we're getting ready to go into the much anticipated matchup between Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes. And I've talked about this in another video, but I guess you could call this kind of a part two, but I want to focus on just primarily Lamar Jackson by himself, okay? Now, the NFL does not want to market around Lamar Jackson for good reason, okay? They don't want to market around his type for good reason. The NFL wants to push his type for other reasons, okay? The often comparison that usually comes up with when you think of a guy like Lamar Jackson is a guy in Michael Vick, okay? Now, when Michael Vick had came in, Michael Vick was pushed for the urban community, much like AI was in the NBA. Those guys were pushed for the urban community, and they built them up until they tried to put their finger on something to diminish them and diminish their character, and that's what's appealing to the majors. They don't want to have Lamar Jackson have this image of being the hero, being the guy that everyone likes. What they want is they want the select few, being that he is and let's just call it what it is. He's a dark skinned African American. Now, I said I was gonna talk about Lamar Jackson, but I have to bring in Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes is still an African American man. You know what I'm saying? Whether he's half Caucasian, half black, he's still an African American male. However, let's just call it what it is. Pigmentation is looked at. Okay, when we talk about skin pigmentation, light skin, dark skin. Now, me myself personally, I've never looked at that sort of thing because I have all sorts of different colors, in my family. When it comes to my friends, uh, things. Things of that nature, doesn't really matter to me. Now, in society, and when we talk about marketing and business and corporate, it, sadly to say, it actually does. The image that they want to push for Lamar Jackson is, like I said, they want to try to build him up, and he's such a great player. He's a dynamic. He has athleticism, much like they did, Michael Vick. He could run, mobile, things of that nature and everything. But he's just great to watch. He's just entertaining, but he'll never win a championship, and that's what they want. That's what they want. But little do you know that Lamar Jackson is built. He's built different. Mike Vick was talented too. He could actually throw the ball despite what people say, but he was supremely gifted in terms of his athleticism. But of course, his troubles had caught up with him, and that's what the NFL, You know, they actually wanted that, and then next thing you know, we all know how that story went. Some, at least, you know, the vast majority of y'all know how it went. Some of y'all are a little young to not really truly know the Mike Vick situation like I do, and some of the older guys do. But they want Lamar Jackson to slip up. They're just waiting for their opportunity for him to slip up. And once they do, then all of the, you know, the stuff that he's accomplished, it's going to go out of the window. They're going to forget about it, and then that's what they want. They want to have a downfall. They want to build them up, and then next thing you know, they're going to send them down the slope. However, I don't see that happening with Lamar Jackson. Hell, it happened, you know, in to some degree with RG3. Even though RG3 didn't give off, even though he's a dark-skinned brother, he didn't give off that image, you know, that urban type of image. Like, for instance, you know, everybody, you know, has their their perception and their stereotype when they see him wearing the, you know, the Scully's, you know, some people call it the Pooh Shiesty mask. Then all of a sudden, they're gonna go ahead and they're gonna label him, you know, as, you know, oh, he's a thug, or he comes from poverty, things of that nature, you know. They're already judging you right when they come in. You don't get that type of feel when you talk about Patrick Mahomes, you know. And I must stress again, Patrick Mahomes is he's a dynamic player, and I love it. I love the way he plays the quarterback position, you know. But we have to be honest about this when we talk about things like this. It's the same thing when, you know, when you look at a guy like Jordan Love. Even though, you know, Jordan Love got screwed, but 9 times out of 10 they would push a guy like Jordan Love, you know, like a Jalen Hurts, you know, clean cut guys of that nature. You know, even though Jordan Love, you know, he has a little bit of hair and everything. Even though Pat Mahomes, you know, has hair and stuff too, but you know, the light skin is playing in their favor, you know. And I know some of y'all probably are gonna disagree with me, but I mean, it's the truth. They don't want to push Lamar Jackson for those reasons. So you're gonna have guys in the media trying to do everything that they can to try to put these narratives on the backs of a guy like Lamar Jackson. Now, here's what I want. I want him to shock the world. Even him just making it to the Super Bowl, and I know this might sound crazy, is actually winning the Super Bowl in a lot of people's eyes, because they didn't expect him to even get there. He has had a storybook season. I think the Ravens have now won, it's 8 in a row. Okay, they came into the playoffs, they won 5 or 6 in a row. They were red hot. Now they won 8 in a row. If they blaze that trail, on top of that, Lamar Jackson winning an MVP, a unanimous MVP at that, and then on top of that, getting into getting a Super Bowl. One can argue that Lamar Jackson could actually be a Hall of Famer just off the strength of him just winning a ring, because he'll be one of the few players that have been able to win 2. If not, I have to go back and I have to go check that. I know there was 3. There was a guy that won. I can't remember who won 3 MVP, but I'm not quite sure about the unanimous MVPs. You know, I have to look that up, and if somebody can correct me, feel free to do that. But he'll have his place in history once again. So you take all of that into account, that would be a remarkable season. Now, they're ready to push Pat Mahomes, getting back on him. I'm not trying to focus on him too much, but I have to bring him in again. What they want with Pat Mahomes is to go ahead and have the Chiefs in there, because guess what? Pat Mahomes will have 3 rings. He'll have 3 MVPs. He's done it in a short amount of time, to where he, like I said in a previous video, and shout out to Town Biz, he mentioned this too, because I was actually thinking the same thing, to where he can retire right now and actually be a Hall of Famer. And they want to go ahead and bring in that conversation too, about, okay, yeah, will he, is he on the same level as Brady? Will he catch Brady? They were already doing that in terms of the quarterback position. They're not willing to do that with Lamar Jackson, unfortunately, and that's not what the NFL wants. The NFL, they appeal more to, Taylor Swift, and I don't have anything against Taylor Swift. She's a talented individual and everything, and then they want to cater to the Kansas City Chiefs and, their culture. You have Travis Kelce, dynamic tight end and everything, but that's what's more appealing to their eye. Lamar Jackson represents the struggle. He represents the underdog. He represents the urban community. He represents the guys standing 10 toes down, getting it out the dirt, so to speak, and doing everything they can, and creeping and crawling up to the top, as we say in the South. Okay, so that's the reason why the NFL doesn't want to market around Lamar Jackson. They just want to market his individuality and his talent and his athleticism, but they don't want to market him as a guy winning multiple championships. Now, I want the NFL to shock me, make me a liar right now, because if he wins a championship, I can guarantee you he has opened up some floodgates that can continue on, possibly, for the next 10, 20, some odd years. And that's what I want. I like parity. We don't like knowing what's going to happen year after year. I'm not taking anything away from Brady. He's my top quarterback right now. He's not my favorite, but he's the one that I have as the number one. As much as Brady won and everything like that, year after year and stuff, I wanted to see somebody different. Cam Newton came close, to doing that, but unfortunately, it did not happen. And he's a little lighter and everything, but at the same token, Cam Newton was representing for what a lot of guys were wanting to see, and that was a guy, that was able to put that team on his back and win as an athletic quarterback, similar to, the Mike Vicks and some of the other ones. But that's just my take on it. This is kind of a part 2 on it. Y'all let me know what you think. Leave your comments, and I'll get at y'all later.